them to gather on their own.
True. What happened with the VC world, and I'll give you my take on it, is that especially we see a huge surge in VC investment 2006, 2007. And what happened is, for instance, a lot of people were putting money into solar, right? A ton of companies were getting funded, but there was a kind of a self-realization at one point that, well, it's going to take a lot of money to make these companies happen. When you're talking about a whole new, you have to build a whole new fab to make these cells, then you're competing against, huge outcomes. So the VCs now are very reluctant, and they're really very carefully not touching as much solar technology as they used to before. They're very familiar and happy to invest in energy efficiency because there's a quicker payback. But to your question right now, where the money comes from, the federal government. In many cases, these companies are able to tap into some amazing grants that the federal government is providing, whether it's through the DOE or whether it's from the DOD. Some of the biofuel companies that I deal with here are getting $5, $8, $10 million grants to do research on biofuel. But it's slowly getting back. I think what happens with the VCs is that they're kind of on the sideline right now. They're waiting to see how things are happening. The economy hasn't yet, we've seen some small sign of improvement, but now with increase of energy costs, we could see the economy kind of taking a slower rate. I mean, we've seen somewhat of a decent growth in GDP over the last 2 or 3 quarters, but it's not enough to really re-inject that need to bring more companies. Also, I think companies have to be more creative on what you want to propose. If you want to just create a system that just replicate what the other guy did, just creating a whole new fabrication process to make new photovoltaic cells, it's very expensive. So maybe the model is to not do that. Maybe it's just to license that technology.